My name is Greg Malouf. I'm an Australian-born Lebanese. I am a chef and a co-author of 8 books. I live in Dubai and I have been here for the last 7 years, and I love it. Today we're making Salmon Kibbeh Nayee. Nayee means raw in Arabic, so essentially it's raw salmon mixed with cracked wheat and spices. I love this dish, and I love it for a lot of reasons, especially for family reasons. As my family many years ago didn't quite get what I was, my interpretation of Arabic food, but eventually, and it was my mother that loved it, loved this dish. She often requested it. So this dish is for you, Mum. I've got some gorgeous Scottish salmon, and I have some cracked wheat. This is white cracked wheat, which I've covered with water and soaked it for about 5 to 7 minutes. So it's you can see that it's absorbed all the water, and all the other ingredients, shallots, some chili. These are quite mild, these chilies. These onions of side garnish, and I have some very hot chilies because I like a little bit of spice with this dish. So we're just going to shred a little of that. I know that the seeds are in there. This helps give that wonderful chili hit. But you'll notice here that I've actually taken out the seeds and the membrane as well, because that's where most of the heat is contained. I've got I've finely diced some shallots as well, as fine as you can get them. Now with the salmon, we want to take the skin off and the bloodline out as well. So we cut through the center and then slowly move the knife against the skin, and we turn it around and do the other side as well. From that, I'm going to take off a little bit of the bloodline because potentially it can be bitter. It does help to have a super sharp knife. And from that, we're going to cut it into dice, and also make sure that the pin bones are taken out. I'm sure your fishmonger can deal with that if you ask him nicely. The beauty about this dish is you can prepare it hours in advance and place it in the fridge, and then when you're ready to serve, just drizzle a little bit of oil on it and serve it with its garnishes. I'm going to use the Thermomix. Place the salmon in there, a little bit of ice. The reason why I'm putting ice in there is to help bind the salmon, the fats from the salmon. They'll get nice and cold and they'll bind with the tartare. We'll start off with a little bit of shallot, some chili, some allspice. Allspice, not to be confused with mixed spice or Chinese 5-spice. This is actually a corn. It's used extensively throughout the Middle East. A little bit of white pepper. We'll put the cracked wheat in at the end. We want to blend this like it's a paste, but you have to be careful. The other reason why I've got ice in there is that I don't want the friction to cook the salmon. This has turned into a nice paste. I can smell the allspice. A little bit of salt. Tiny bit of oil, extra virgin. And cracked wheat. Lid goes back on. Nice. A little bit more salt, a little more chili, and 1 cube of ice, because I can feel it starting to get a bit warm. There's several ways to plate this up. The simple way is to roll it into a ball and take some sage bread and wrap it in the sage. The other way is to have smear it on the plate and make a lovely design. Let's get this out. It's also really important that the palette knife is wet. It helps smooth this out. So this is called a thing of patience. Now that I have it smoothed out and it looks relatively symmetrical, we're going to do a little pattern on this. So I take the back of a knife and simply just firstly divide into quarters. And then into eighths. And then from there, make a little diamond pattern. As I was saying, yeah, this requires a little bit of patience, but it's well worth it. Traditionally, what's served with normal kibbeh, which is made with lamb, is onions, toum, which is a garlic sauce, white onions as well, because they're quite sweet. I leave the stem on because I want them to stay whole. And stand them up in the ice. And be quite generous. And also some mint. Just on the side. A little bit of olive oil. And there's your salmon kibbeh nayee.